Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Knit Girls. This is episode 40, and it is 2011.
It is. That's weird.
It's closer to you being 30.
It is. Thanks for sharing. I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
I'm Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les, and I'll be the mean one today.
That's awesome.
Okay.
We should have brought up our naughty and nice mugs.
No, we didn't. Instead, I'm having some mics. So,
I am as well.
Anyway, it's been a long 2 weeks of Kobe out of school. And I'm this is Laura's favorite time because she doesn't have to go to work. But for parents of young children, especially young children who do well with the schedule, it's been a hard couple of weeks. So I'm looking forward to school starting back on Tuesday. So
and I have to go back tomorrow, which
do.
is no fun at all.
But you'll be children free at least.
Yeah, but
It's
I
just
have
a
to
teacher
sit
day.
through meetings.
Can you
Which
knit
are
at
less
any of
fun.
these?
I cannot because they're like county-wide meetings where there's lots of people and
Lame.
other people and people who can determine if I have a job or not. So I have to pretend like I'm on best behavior. Meh. But I'm always on best behavior. But anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you talk about what you're working on?
I am working on some Diamond Gansey socks by Wendy Johnson. I'm using my cute little cards, which mine have been stuck in the bag with the socks, so they're a little bit bent, but they work out quite well. I finished the first one.
Now who are these for?
These are for my mom for her birthday in 2011, which is September, so I'm ahead of the ball game this year.
Awesome.
I started these socks around 3 years ago.
Were they for
her birthday then?
So really these are her birthday 2008
I think they were
socks?
Let's see. It was the year that Alicia got married, so...
Oh, that was last year.
Okay, so that was last year.
Yeah.
So I'm only 1 year away. But I started them for the Wendy Toe Up Cal, whenever that was, and didn't finish them in time.
That's right, because you took them to New Orleans.
I took them to New Orleans, and they hung out at Cafe Du Monde, and... Yeah, I know. We need to go back to New Orleans. But anyway...
I would venture a guess that we have viewers in New Orleans.
I don't know.
I bet we have at least one.
I don't know. The yarn is DK Knits. According to Amelia Bella, she's now out of business. But if you like this yarn, there are lots of her stuff on D-Stashes on Ravelry. And it's a nice workhorse yarn. I'll be interested to see how it wears because it's really a nice yarn. I like it a lot. So I finished the first one when I was at Becky's. It was almost done. I just had the ribbing to do. And I actually got trapped at, there was a big blizzard in Philadelphia while I was there. And luckily I had knitting with me, so I cast on the second one. I'd finished the other projects that I had brought with me, so this was my backup. So, and I'm doing the heel increases right now. Well, I will be when I get to that side. And I'm on the 8th repeat of the diamond pattern, and my other ones are a total of 13 repeats. So I'm over halfway there.
Yeah. What else are you working on?
That's it.
That's it? I thought you were doing a knit along.
Well, I am, but I haven't cast on yet. But I'll show you the yarn for it. So Becky and I have been doing knit-alongs on Plurk.
Becky is limb half on Plurk and on Ravelry.
She is, and we decided to do a shawl called the Hera Mountain Ridge Shawl. I checked my cheat notes. So the three colors, it's alternating like every other color like my Nora shawl was, and then it's got a feather and fan border where you alternate every other row. So the three colors that I'm going to use, they're All Socks That Rock, are Tide Pool.
That's a one that a lot of people like.
I like that
Popular.
one.
That was the name I was thinking.
And then Fire on the Mountain.
It is a very colorful colorway.
I figured that those two might be the two that I alternate.
Balance each other well.
Yeah. And then the last one is actually one that was a Sock Club one. Is this one a Sock Club one? No. A Rockin' Sock Club from the year that I was in it, and it's Lenore. And it's one of the Raven series, so it's real dark black, but it's got undertones of reds. You can kind of see the red. Reddish purple, like a burgundy in there. So those three together are going to be my shawl. I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to start off with a garter tab cast on, because that's my favorite cast on for shawls.
I hate that one a lot.
Really?
I hate it.
I like that one. I think it looks nice when you're done, rather
I
than
agree.
just casting on. I think the pattern calls to just cast on 7 stitches. I like the look of a garter tab cast on a little bit better. So I'll cast on 3, knit 6 rows, pick up 3 along the side, and then pick up 2, or no, cast on 2, knit 6 rows. Yeah, do all that. And then I'm going to increase every row a la Ishbel to get more of that fanning look. So the pattern actually calls for, let's see, it's 400 one color, 800 of another color, and 200 of a third. I'm going to do, I think probably pretty even on these. I might just use this for the feather and fan part and not alternate it.
Yeah, I think that would be pretty.
So that's the plan for these, and it decreases my socks that rock stash, which is not huge. It's probably around 10 skeins by 3,
It's just
and all
not
these are
something that you
lightweight.
knit with often, is all, or at least lately. It's not something you
No,
knit with often.
it's not been something that I knit with, because I had all the club colorways, and I like to use the club colorways for the socks that they're intended for, but I'm
That's
breaking
odd.
the mold there
For you, I think
Yeah.
that's
I don't know.
a deviation.
from my norm. But anyway, that's next on the needles. I think the shawl's supposed to be knit on size 1s. I'm going to go for size 4s, because I like the drape of this on size 4s for a shawl. I think
It
a little bit
automatically
better.
makes it bigger, and that's a win.
Yeah, there is that. So that's next on my needles. As soon as these are going to be my portable project, and this is going to be my, like, more at home projects. So we'll see. We'll see how, hopefully next week I'll have some progress on that. What's on your needles?
Well, I just started, as in 5 minutes before we push the record button. A pair of socks. These are not for me. These are for my friend Claudia in Germany. She sent me some yarn as a Christmas gift, and I was ill prepared. I've sent her something the past couple of Christmases, and then this year I just had so much that I didn't send her anything, and then she sent me something, so
And you felt bad.
I did feel bad. Plus Claudia's awesome.
She's very, very sweet.
And so I started a pair of socks that I'm going to send to her. They're Vesper, so they're striping. And really, I mean, what can you send the Woolmizer that she doesn't already have, right? You can't.
I was going to wonder if you were going to bring up that she is the Woolmizer or not.
Well, it's not like I can go through my stash and go, oh, look at this beautiful, vibrant color of yarn that she doesn't already, have somewhere in her catalog of, hundreds of colors. So Laura thought that a stripy one would be fun, and I think that that's a very good idea.
Because
so,
she doesn't dye stripy
That's
yarn.
right, she doesn't.
It's totally different.
Plus, it's a hand knit, and she
Plus, Claudia is a stripy sock kind of person.
She is. She is a very
She's
quirky
funky
girl.
and fun, yeah.
And she has appreciated everything that I've knit her in the past. So, I'm knitting her a pair of socks out of Vesper, and this is the Vinca Vine colorway.
It's pretty. I like the colors.
I think that she's pretty partial to purple. Laura and I both kind of guessed that.
I think so.
So,
She does some really pretty purples.
yeah, and I'll show y'all what she sent me later on. And then also, my friend Jackie from the Keeping It Real podcast sent me a present, which I'll show you later, that made me laugh so much. And I had told her I hadn't started on her Christmas present yet, and she knew that. So, she picked something out. So, it's from the Knitting Socks with Hand Painted Yarn by Carol Solsowski. I think that's how you pronounce it. And let me find
Jackie
the
doesn't
pattern.
like knitting socks.
She
likes it a little bit better than she did when we first
I
met
have that
her.
colorway. No, I'm knitting that colorway. Yeah, she is doing more socks now. She didn't used to do them quite as much, but she just finished a pair for Bob, so
Oh, really?
I think that she's only knit 1 or 2 pairs for herself. And now I can't find the freaking pattern. It is the slip stitch one. There we go.
Oh, that's cool.
Spot check. So this is the sock that she wants me to knit her. And she only wants them to be anklets because she doesn't like long socks.
Yeah.
So I told her that was no problem. And I will probably omit this solid color line that's in the main color just because I kind of think it looks dumb. I don't understand why it's there. I guess just to pull the colors in a little bit more. But I don't like it and she didn't like it either, so I'm going to get rid of that. So I'll start on that sometime this week.
Cool.
That's the only the only work in progress I have is the sock for Claudia because I finished my work in progress about an hour before Laura got here for us to record. My knuckles are screaming at me. I'm going to go ahead and show y'all mine because Laura's got like an FO explosion.
That's why I didn't bring all my Christmas presents
Yeah.
over. I was like, oh, I've got so much
She
crap to
already
carry.
had, like,
I'll do
6
it like
bags.
next. Yeah, I'll do it next time.
So,
you'll get to see all my cool Christmas presents next time.
I decided last week I stumbled upon this designer who had written a pattern called Damask, which was a shawl.
I've seen that, yeah.
And so I clicked on her other designs and I found this, and this is called the Batik. And it's just another shawlette, and she's got it in 3 different sizes, small, medium, and large. And so I decided to do the large one because I have a lot of small ones, and I like the larger ones better for my personal, if I'm going to knit them. So I decided I was going to use the hand spun that I won in Lynn Zim's Denver Oyster cupcake thing. So this is what the yarn looked like. This is what is left of it. The pattern said for the large that it would require
700 yards is what you told me.
720 yards. I don't think it actually used that much. I think it used a little bit less, but I won't know for sure really until I've blocked it out.
That's going to block out gorgeous.
It's very like springy.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of spring in it, so this is kind of what and this has not been blocked, so it kind of looks, you can't really tell it's lace right now, but I'll block it and show y'all again next week. But this is what it looks like. It's got some really nice striping in it, and I will soak it later on and block it out in here, but it's got a nice little scalloped edging, which should block out really well.
If you're looking for a shawl for the Loopy Challenge, because the Loopy Challenge this quarter is cables. That one has cables.
Yeah, it does have little lines of cables running up. And you can learn how to cable without a cable needle, because it's only 2/2, so it's really not that bad.
Fun.
But I liked this one a lot. There were parts where it was a little less intuitive than I would have initially thought, but I think it gives a beautiful result.
I think it's very pretty.
So I'll block it and I'll show it actually blocked next week.
Cool. Yay.
And I finished a little baby sweater for Alicia, but I think it's kind of, Alicia is Snapdragon.
She told me she really liked the colors of it.
It makes me cringe a little bit, and maybe I'm just being judgmental, but it kind of makes me think of like early 90s acid wash jeans. So anyway, I finished it. It was the FP pattern, and this is what it looks like. I've woven in ends, but I haven't trimmed them yet. So it's Barocco Comfort in a purple and in a pink, and I don't know, I think it kind of looks
I like it.
a little crazy.
I like it.
I'll
and
put
you have all
buttons
your
on it.
ends woven in, you just have to clip them.
Yeah, they're all woven. I just have to, I really need to block it out, even though it's acrylic, so it's not going to block that much.
Yeah, I'm going to wet block mine that I'm sending her as well. Just, it's acrylic as well, but it's not laying as flat as I would like.
Yeah.
So tonight I'm probably going to wet block that.
But
I have a lot of socks to wash because I was in Philly for 6 days and I took hand knit socks with me, so I have like 6 pairs of hand knit socks to wash.
I counted mine the other day. I would have guessed I probably had about a dozen or so, and I've got closer to, I think I've got 2 dozen pairs of hand knits. So
that's awesome.
I think I'm going to slow down on knitting socks for me for a little while. Not quit, but just knit more for other people. And then I have one more FO that Laura's wearing. This was her Christmas gift. So
my pretties.
These are the end paper mitts.
They're so pretty.
And they were knit
and they're perfect size-wise.
Curious Creek Wasonga in the green, and then 3 Hours Girl something in the gray.
Them a lot.
And they were
They're gonna be perfect.
They
for
were really
school.
fast.
And they match what I had on today, and we didn't even plan that. They also they don't match my Hello Kitty Band-Aid, however.
You can't please everybody, right?
I was opening a can of soup earlier and just like right across it. And you know what? It's on top of my other scar that I got doing the same thing when I was in college.
Dude, cat food can.
Yeah,
6 stitches.
That's totally all you. I just like to slay soap in my pinky, apparently.
So let's start the parade of,
The
finished objects that you have.
Alright, so for Alicia, I knit out of some Encore that was in the stash, a yoked cardigan.
I really like this pattern.
It's a cute pattern, and it comes in adult sizes too. I'll pull out the pattern in a second. But yeah, like I said earlier, it's kind of flipping back on itself. It needs to be blocked, although all the ends are woven in and already clipped. And I need to add buttons. But I'm counting it as finished.
Mine too.
So it'll get 2 little buttons right there, and like right there. And it's done. And I made the sleeves a little bit longer than what it called for. And so that's number one. There's the actual what the pattern looks like. It's really pretty. And it was fairly inexpensive. I'm not certain that I like the look of it on the adult. It goes from sizing wise from 0 to 6 months is the size that I did, all the way up to 2X women's. So 52 inches. And there's the women's. So I'm not certain I like it's more open, like off the shoulders. Yeah. I'm not certain I would like that as an adult, although you could really easily fix that.
I like the baby version though.
Yep, and this is the same woman who did the featherweight.
Oh, okay.
Hannah Fettig designed this. So I like the baby version a lot, and I owe someone else a baby sweater, so I'll probably do that. But that was leftover encore in the stash. Yay! That I think I bought the first year I was knitting. Like when I was...
Baby knitter.
Yeah, a baby knitter, like 12 or 13. I think I conned Mom into getting that for me. So it's been in the stash for a while. When I was up in Philadelphia, I finished 2 pairs of socks. The first is the Miss Babs. And these were going to be for my grandmother for Christmas, but I sent her the Interrupting Cows instead, and these will go to her on her birthday in April.
So you're prepared?
I am.
Check that
I'm like a little bit ahead of the ball game. The other pair of socks that I finished stayed with Becky. They are the Euclid's Love Song that I designed. I think that's the name of them. Yes. I don't know.
That is the name of them.
Out of Perfect Day Yarns. So those were a work in progress for a while, but they stayed with Becky. So Becky got 2 new pairs of socks because she got that 3 Irish Girl in the rainbow puke colorway as well.
Oh, she got the ones I sent her.
Yeah, so she got 4. I told her she was
broken when she got them. Freaking skein of, or a string of the part of the yarn broke. That made me very upset.
Yeah.
But she's a whiz and fixed it, I hear. So.
Yeah, and then she used all the scraps to crochet into her she's doing a big granny square sock yarn afghan, so I got to see all that. Then I stole back the mittens I knit for Wheezy to show y'all.
So for scale. Here.
And they're a little bit big on him.
They're very large.
But I figured he could wear them
soft,
with something else underneath. It's a Knit Picks yarn, and I'll link that in the show notes. Merino style was the Knit Picks, and like a colorway that began with a K. K-A-N, I don't know. And then Becky and I had another Plurk knit along.
I love the picture of your sister in this hat.
And this is the Gnome hat. It's a pattern by Elizabeth Zimmerman. It's in the Knitter's Almanac. I'm trying to find the front. Oh, because I'm doing this the wrong way. Okay, that's the front. And this is the back. It's got a little wee seam in the back. That's how I can figure it out. And Becky made hers a little bit taller than I made mine, but I ran out of yarn. It's out of some hand spun.
That is a very good look for you. I actually really like that color of
it's
that yarn.
Fun. Yeah. It's hand spun. We both used hand spun. So I finished mine in less than a day, and she finished hers in less than a day, and we just had fun with it. So I think I might add, I have a little bit of the yarn left over. I might do like ties.
Yeah.
On the but Becky likes
accent.
To flip hers up.
That's what's so funny about hers.
Becky wears hers like a Robin Hood hat, like flipped up.
And the sides on hers are like flipped out too.
Yeah.
I don't know how she did that.
She did like wings. No, you can do it. You just have to. She just does different things with hers because she's Becky. And so we did those in like a day, and I felt bad for people who wanted to like knit along with us because we were like, yeah, we're done. Sorry. But the chill's going to be a little bit more. And then the last but not least, one of my goals for 2011 is to release more patterns. And this is actually a pattern that I designed last year that I never released. Actually, I think I designed it in the end of 2009 and never released it. It is the Doldrums cowl. I named it because, have you ever seen Phantom Tollbooth? When in Phantom Tollbooth, Milo at one point gets stuck in the doldrums, and I was at that point in a doldrums point of my knitting, and I couldn't get anything to work right, and I was just, you get the blahs with knitting sometimes. So this uses a chunky weight yarn, and a really easy, oh yeah, that's the original one is out of hand spun, a really easy stitch pattern, and you just go to town, and it's over really quickly. And the pattern's going to be free, and it'll be up probably tomorrow, maybe tonight. No, I think I'll rephotograph some of the pictures and get it up on Monday. So, yep, super easy cowl. And I have one out of green handspun as well that I did several years ago out of some handspun that I drunkenly plied.
Oh yes, this
at
is
a spring fling a couple of years ago.
So also my Christmas present.
Yeah.
This was another one of Laura's finished objects. So that makes, I don't know, like 8 for the 2 weeks. So this is Herbivore, and this is a whose pattern?
Stephen West.
Okay, I wasn't sure, but that's what I thought. And this red is an apple pie, apple lane, something.
Yeah, apple lane, apple pie yarn. So, it's out of Canada, I believe. I don't know if she's still in business.
Apparently this caused Laura much stress because she was worried about the color, that I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
Although it's red, so I'm not certain how I couldn't like it.
I know, and I didn't know if you'd like a shawl because you told me specifically not to knit you a shawl.
Like, I'm going to turn down a hand knit anyway. So anyway, I love it. It makes me happy. It's just red, so it will look wonderful with my coat.
It's the Madeline Tosh colorway, I think.
I like it.
Or Macintosh, or whatever.
And I would wear it, but it's warm in here, so I'm going to take it off.
It is. It's a mohair silk wool blend.
But it's very lovely.
It is. I like the way it blocked out.
So, those were
and I think that's it. Oh, and I did some handsies for my niece, which you can see the pictures on Ravelry.
They were a big hit.
They were. She refused to take them off. And Emily asked me to knit her another pair, so I got to get on that soon too. So that'll be maybe like after I finish these socks, my next portable project. Because the extra small, which is the 2-year-old size, took only... I finished them... Well, I finished the first one in the car ride to Nashville, so like 3.5, 4.5, 5.5... Like 5.5 hours, I think. So...
It's pretty fast.
It's not too bad. And she refused to take them off and had a good time with them.
There's a lot of videos of her saying, la la.
La la, which is really cute.
Yeah.
I'll have to post the video of her going, la la.
So, I have nothing for spinning. I have not touched my spinning wheel, so Megan, I'm sorry. Your DK fiber has not moved since last week, or 2 weeks ago, really. But you have some spinning.
I do. I feel like I've been talking a lot. I finished... This is just part of it. The other part's still in the bobbins at the house because I didn't wind them off. But I finished the last 400 yards or so. This is 200 of it, of the Lorna's laces that I was spinning for Suzanne. So this is the last 200, and it makes me happy.
So you finished spinning it, you finished plying it,
yep.
It's just still on the wheel.
Yep, it's still on the wheel, and I haven't soaked it or anything else.
Yeah.
So I gotta do that, and then I'll leave it up at the yarn shop for her to come pick up. So that makes me happy. So yay, that's done, and I kind of decided on what I was gonna spin next, which is some really pretty CJ Kopeck.
Yeah, I like that.
That I got last year. It is in the Vavoom colorway, and it is a 50% merino, 25% bamboo, 25% silk. It is 4 ounces. And I think it will make a nice spin, so I'm excited to get that on the wheel probably this week. Maybe I'll have the first bobbin done to show y'all next week if my shoulder cooperates. It's been kind of a pain in the butt.
Because you've been spinning non-stop for like 3 days.
I only spun yesterday, and I only spun during the hockey game.
You seem very defensive.
It wasn't that. It might be a combination of knitting and spinning. I don't know. I don't think it was that. I don't think it was the spinning yesterday. It's just being a little whiny pain in the butt.
So,
anyway.
we have a friend whose birthday it is today.
Yes! We do!
So,
and I miss seeing her.
I
We need
know.
to see her more often.
So, Wendy of Wendy Knits, I don't know what today's age is, and that's none of anybody else's business, but we wanted to say happy birthday, and we miss you.
We hope Ian and Lucy are treating you right.
Yes. And hopefully we'll get back to DC next year, or this year, to see her again.
Yeah.
Have to catch it.
Or see her somewhere.
Yeah. So anyway, we wanted to say happy birthday to Wendy.
Yay!
And let's see, what else? Do you want to talk about something, or do you want me to talk about something?
I don't know what I have to talk about. We had a Plurk Love Train going on.
We did. Laura was having a crappy day. When was it?
I was. the Monday before Christmas. I was having a real bad day.
So yeah, she plurked.
Or Tuesday.
She
I
was
think
frustrated.
it was.
Something wasn't going wrong, and so
Everything was going wrong.
so someone I think it was P. Hobbs.
P. Hobbs gave
Patricia.
me a present, a pattern on Ravelry, which was super sweet. And
she did that using the Ravelry wish list feature.
Yes.
If you put patterns on your wish list, other people can buy them and send them to you, and it, you know, protects the copyright and everything. So Laura posted that, you know, she had gotten and the love train just started. It went for days, I think. I mean,
it was still going on today a little bit.
Yeah.
But people were gifting other people patterns, and it was lots and lots of fun.
Just
and
to
I wish
pay it
I
forward
had,
sort
yeah,
of
I wish
thing.
I had lots more money so I could.
I know.
Continue to do
I mean,
it,
honestly,
but...
I think I ended up spending between $40 and $50 on patterns that day, and I'm like, I got to stop because, you know, it's really not, because it's funny, you don't hesitate to spend $6 on somebody else, but when it comes to yourself, you're like,
And it was really cool. I got lots of cool patterns, and I gifted some other people lots of cool patterns, and it was lots and lots of fun.
Yeah. It's a good way to send somebody a quick pick-me-up if they're having a crummy day, so.
I've taken advantage of that before, and other people have done that to me. Emo did that to me a couple weeks ago, too, so we're very fortunate to have as many good friends as we do, both in real life and on Plurk and Ravelry and other places.
So, speaking of Ravelry, we're up to 672 members.
Really?
We had 666 for like 5 minutes yesterday.
It was so awesome, and it was like more than 5 minutes. I think it was a couple days.
I meant to take a screenshot of it just for fun, and I never got around to it, but it cracked me up.
It was funny. I liked it a lot. I have like the Tower of Leaning FOs over here, and it keeps like falling on me.
Dude, my pile over here is insane. So, okay. We got some awesome gifts. I'm going to show mine this week, and Laura's going to show hers next week.
Because otherwise we're going to run out of film on the
camera. I love it. We're in 1990 now. So, yeah, it looks like we're at 26 minutes now, so we're going to try to, you know, rush through this a little bit just so that our camera doesn't die on us.
I think Lisa's is my favorite of the pile you have over there, although this one's pretty good, too.
Jackie from the Keeping It Real podcast, around last Thanksgiving or so, we were talking online, and she linked me to this site called Subversive Crochet, and it's a bunch of, or not, cross stitch, that's what I meant.
Subversive Stitching. She's got a book, too.
Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah, she definitely does. Becky has it. Becky did some of the Subversive Stitching, too.
So I had linked her to a few that I liked and then forgotten all about it, and then she told me that she was knitting, or she was cross-stitching me one for Christmas, so she got me this, and I'm going to try to make sure that the glare doesn't kill it, but, okay, I'm sorry. Bad language if you have children. You might want to just avert their eyes for a minute, but anyway, this is what I got from Jackie, and I hope that the glare isn't too bad, but it says, "Happy fucking holidays, dear," and it makes me very happy because it's funny when you can get a little bit vulgar with your cross-stitching, which is such an old, thing to do. But anyway, this is a lovely gift that I got from Jackie.
And her book is pretty funny.
And there were a lot of other ones that I wanted as well, so I might just have to suck it up and learn cross-stitch.
Or you could get Nicole to do it in exchange for something.
Barter.
Knitting, yeah.
So, and then Lisa and Jack came over before you went out of town, the Tuesday before you went out of town, and we exchanged gifts, Christmas gifts, and Lisa's made me laugh out loud, so much so.
It makes me laugh right now.
My son got upset because I was so happy about Lisa's gifts that he knew I would never be as happy about his. But anyway, so I guess I had plurked about this Etsy project, I don't know, months ago, and I guess Lisa got it, decided she was going to do this for me for Christmas. And it's really creepy, so I'll go ahead and warn you. It's really creepy, but it makes me so happy.
It reminds me of Labyrinth or
it does make me think of Labyrinth. So, okay, without any further build-up, this was my present. And these are all little individually crocheted eyes, and they're all fastened to a backing here. And I just had to put it on my wall. And it's so creepy, and it makes me so happy. And I can't really explain it. And Michael looked at it and he was like, I don't really know. I don't understand that.
And I told Leslie to put it in the bedroom.
That's what I need. But I don't know. It makes me giggle every time I look at it.
It's so funny.
I really appreciate it. These are the kind of friends that I enjoy so much. Anyhow. Oh, I got tears in my eyes. Also, Okay, I'll show you what Claudia sent me. The Wilmaza. It says, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family. Love and hugs, Claudia. This is her...
I like the new postcards.
Yeah, these are her postcards.
Those are very cool.
And she sent me 3 colorways that I did not have. And they are all purple.
I love them.
Purpley. This one is Cassis. And this is sort of a Merlot-ish, sort of. Well, not
It's
quite
more of a
Merlot.
pinkish purple.
Yeah. And it's 100%. I think they're all 100%. This one is Igor, which was one that I wanted. And it's kind of a brownie purple.
It reminds me a lot
Makes me think of raisins. Yeah, that's your
They're very
Lenore.
similar. Yeah.
And then, I don't know, Mond M7 House. I don't know what that means. Maybe somebody who is, and I should.
That reminds me of Colton Polar a little bit.
Yeah, and
I love
it kind of makes me think
It's
a little
really
of
pretty.
Bluebell as well. So, and this is what it looks like. So it's kind of a bluey purple. So those were my gifts from Claudia. And she knows that I can never have enough. I mean, who can have enough Wilmaza, right?
But you always knit with your wool
I
miza
do.
too, and
I do knit with a fair amount of it.
that's one of the most important things. is
Another
not to
present I got
hoard.
from Laura Shelter. I have not knit with it yet, but Becky,
I wound mine.
Becky's knit with hers, right?
Yep.
She made a hat.
I wound mine. This is the faded quilt colorway, and yours is Long John's.
Yep, Long John's. It's
And
red.
I started knitting with mine, and I ripped out what I was doing with it because I didn't like it. It's
Yeah.
a woolen spun.
Yeah, it's very kind of loftily spun.
Yeah, it's definitely woolen spun, so stuff like cables or lace that aren't going to pop as much as something that's worsted spun. So,
Yeah.
anyway.
And then also,
I got that at Loop in Philly.
last present is from Becky, and if you're on Plurk, you're already sick to death of hearing about this, and I'm sorry. But Becky, Laura's sister, and I bartered for services, and I got... That sounds
makes
dirty.
it so dirty.
So this is her information. You can get in touch with her on Etsy. She's Lemon Half on
And
Etsy.
she does custom quilts, so if there's not one in the shop and you want one, you can contact her.
It's funny, she wrote me a little note and she says, there will be some loose threads on your quilt. Do not pull them. Just snip them close to the surface. Cracks me up because I can see her saying that.
Yes.
But, okay, so I'm going to have to stand up to show you all this. It's beautiful and it warms my heart, and I'm not actually going to put it on my bed because I'm worried that my cats are going to destroy it. But this is
I'll
what
hold it on
looks
this
like.
side. Are you going all the way back?
Yes. So this is what it looks like.
I just almost took off my own face.
There's 2 of each square and all the colors of the rainbow, and I don't know, I love it. And all the thread is like rainbow thread.
It is.
It's so happy. And then on the back, I've got like a little panel of hearts here. So it's a queen size quilt.
Yep.
And I have been using it downstairs to keep me warm because that way I can see it. And you're probably only seeing my hips here, so that's not going to do you any good, is it?
I don't know, but now I've moved the chair, so now I might be out of frame, and there could be craziness that goes on.
So this is my quilt from Becky, and it makes me really, really happy. I definitely got the better end of this deal, I think. But if you're looking for someone to sew you a custom quilt, definitely get in touch with Becky. Her prices are really reasonable compared to what else I've seen on Etsy. And she does great work because it's all finished really well. And that's one of my favorite squares. The owl. So, anyway, thank you very much.
And I brought
Becky.
it to her because I was a yarn/quilt mule.
She was. Like, I helped, send her some money for her luggage because I'm like, I'm
I had
taking
to
up
check
at
a
least
bag,
a quarter
yeah.
of your, bag, so yeah.
It was so funny.
Also, our friend Barbara, who has a podcast, Pink and Barbara, she does mostly, well, I don't want to say mostly, half sewing, half knitting. But she has put out a bunch of sewing patterns for different bags.
Oh, cool.
And so she sent us some, so we'll probably use these for giveaways. I might keep one of the patterns to sew a bag because I haven't made a bag before. And she sent us some other goodies, some yarn and some chocolate and stuff. So I wanted to say thank you to Barbara.
Cool.
And she's pregnant, so I hope that the pregnancy is progressing along well.
Yay.
And I look forward to your podcast too. And I think that that's all. Is that all the presents that I have to talk about? Oh no, your mother, she sewed some bags and stuff, but she also sent me a really cool like sampler pack. get it.
I got one of these for Christmas too, and I'm not planning on bringing it over here. So.
Well, there's no reason to since I've got it. So she sent me a sampler pack of wool. These are different kinds of wool. They're probably
different
labeled.
breeds, yeah.
Probably some BFL and some merino and other stuff.
Yeah, they're all labeled.
And then these are just other stuff. It looks like there's linen, there's rayon, there's angora. I see some cocoons. There's some silk in here.
There's everything under the sun.
All different kinds of fibers in here.
And what she uses it for, when she used to teach spinning to people, that was a good way
cotton.
of showing people what different fibers look like.
So this would be cool. I can like spin up a monster skein of something.
Yeah.
You know, who knows? But that's a really cool learning tool, I think, to have all these little sampler packs of different fabrics. So
yeah.
She's awesome.
A lot of different fibers.
Alright, I'm done talking for a while. You talk.
I went to Loop and Rosie's Yarn Cellar in Philadelphia.
And you got to meet
Petaloo.
which
Yes.
I'm super jealous about.
Petaloo, Jen, and Nat, and everyone else who was there, so it was lots of fun. Becky and I went down. We wish we could have stayed longer, but we left her husband at home, and I was starving, and it was cold and rainy, and actually on the way back I stepped in a puddle and got sopping wet from like my knee down because there had just been that blizzard. And snow was on top of the potholes. And I
got a call from Lauren. She's like, my feet are soaked through and I still have to walk to the fucking subway.
It was not good. And it took my Uggs like 3 days to dry out.
I bet.
Like literally. And those were the only shoes I packed. So I was not a happy camper for like 3 days. But I was glad we got home safe. I got the shelter at Loop and I also got this really pretty Madeline Tosh.
Ooh, that is pretty. You didn't show me that.
I limited myself to 2 things. This one's black velvet. I thought it was really pretty, and it grabbed my attention right away, so I got that.
That's very pretty.
And then at Rosie's, I got a book. Surprise. But I'll have to show it to y'all later. It was, not Malabrigu. What's the other one that's similar to Malabrigu? It was one of the yarn companies, one of their small books, which had some really cool stuff in it, so I'll have to show that to y'all later. And I also got from Petaloo, since I'm a Steelers fan, she brought me a Chicago Bears bag, which is cool. I wonder if they won today, because they were going to play Green Bay. They were still playing when I came over here.
These are both football teams, I
Yes.
assume. Okay.
So, anyway.
If you hear tinkling, I'm sorry. I think my son is like battling with some Legos or something. I don't know what that is.
Legos are cool, though. And that's all I really have. I didn't bring over a whole lot because I knew I had so much FOs and junk to talk about.
Well, there was a couple of clubs that I wanted to talk about, and one of them was the Star Athena Club.
Oh, I like that club.
It's really, I just found out about it because somebody posted about it in our group, and I can't remember who it was. I want to say it was Deneen, but I'm not certain. And it's a pattern-only club, and you can...
it's really reasonably priced.
I know, it's $15 for a whole year's worth of patterns.
So 12 patterns for $15.
Or you can download them individually for $4 or $5, I think. But why would you do that when you can get them all for $15? She said you can still join and get all the back ones from the year.
Yes. So you can go and look. Actually, now it might be the perfect time because she released one yesterday called Hobbit Cakes. And,
yeah, it's got some color work in it and a neat little tie at the top.
Yep, but she does some really interesting, and she's actually... I almost bought the new Vogue magazine, but I decided not to because the only 2 projects that I really liked in there were Star Athena socks, and they were knee socks, and I was like, oh, I don't think I'll really be knitting knee socks anytime soon, but I really like her sock patterns. She was in the Joy of Socks.
She does. She's even got worsted patterns for socks too, which I think is there's not enough of because worsted they're not great to wear under shoes, but they're great for around the house.
Yep.
So her site is keeponknittingthefreeworld.blogspot.com, or you can just search for Star Athena on Ravelry.
And she's very cool.
She is. So we got, we joined and got the year's worth of patterns, and if she does it again, I'll do it again because really,
and next time she's talking about not doing just socks,
Right.
doing a variety, which I think would be very cool.
And we also wanted to talk about the Perfect Day Yarn Sock Club. We were going to talk about how great it is and how you should join it, but unfortunately it sold out in 24 hours.
Which she's never had happen before. So
and
that's
she increased
very cool.
the number of spots too, so we are very happy that her club has filled up. We wish that more people could fit into it, but she only has so much time in the day. So I'm excited about that.
I'm so excited.
I think that the first shipment's in February, right? Or is that...
February, March, I can't remember.
So anyway, and Laura is designing again for this round, so I'm excited to be a part of that club, and I know at least a few of our members got in.
Yep.
And the only thing I have left to talk about was goals for 2011, and let's see how we're at 40 minutes, so we actually have a couple minutes to talk about
Awesome.
them. So why don't you talk about any goals you have for 2011?
Okay, so I don't like setting goals for myself because I kind of feel like it's setting myself up for failure, especially
this is,
with
first of
knitting
all,
goals.
totally untrue. 50 skeins stashed down.
Okay. But I don't like saying at the beginning. That was for a summer, though. That's a shorter period of time. Maybe
You don't like long-term goals.
I like short-term goals versus long-term goals. But my real long-term goal for this year, I have two, is I'd like to release 12 different patterns, and one of which is going to be the doldrums, so that'll take care of one. I've committed to designing for 5 separate shipments of sock clubs, so that'll take care of a good bit. So, you know, get those that's 6 right there, so get another 6 designed and out would be very cool. I'd like to get a couple more shawl patterns out there. I enjoy designing, it's something I really like doing, so I'd like to do more of it and set aside time to do more of it. I'd like to fit all my fiber and yarn in the bins that they're supposed to be in rather than all over the house. So I'm not going to say that I'm only knitting from the stash, but my primary goal is going to be to knit more from the stash.
I agree. That's a good goal.
Yeah. If I can, I always say that, and then or do a stash down, and then I still have a lot more that somehow manages to sneak its way in. But I was good at loop. I only got 2 things of yarn, so hopefully I'm gonna do more of a stash down. And working to that goal, I did sign up or join 2 groups. They are the 11 shawls in 2011. I think I knit 7 or 8 shawls last year, just not doing any kind of motivation at all. So, you know, I'll probably get a good bit of that done. And then I also sign up for Year of
Stash
Socks. Mainly because 3 of my good friends are running it. So Adrian's running it and Tammy's running it. I'm trying to think who else. So Darth Knitter and Annie97 are running it, and they're good people, and I like them a lot. And the January goal is just to do like plain stockinette socks. One of them, they give you like 3 choices, and I can do plain stockinette socks. So
see, I don't like to have rules about what, and not that that's too imposing of a rule, because really it's not, but that's probably why I haven't joined any group that's like a cookie A, you know, knit along for the whole
I did the
book or
cookie
whatever.
and knit along, and I've done socks from the toe up off and on over the course of the last 2 years, but I do what I want.
Yeah, this is true.
Those are 2 things that I thought were interesting. I have a lot of stuff to link in the show notes. We should talk less.
No, that's cool. So I have some goals for 2011. I didn't have a whole lot for last year, and I think I accomplished the majority of them. I wanted to do a steeked item, which I did the Argyle vest, which was a steeked item. I wanted to knit with beads, so I did the shipwreck. I wanted to knit more from stash, which kind of happened. I wanted to sew something. I did sew an apron, and I can't remember what the other ones were. I guess I must not have done them. So this year I only have 3, and I'm limiting myself to 3. I want to complete the Master Knitter program, and I would like to have all of my samples knit up by mid-February, which I still think is completely doable. I'd like to knit 6 items from the books that I already own, because I don't have a lot of books, but I probably have 70, maybe 75 books over here. And I bought them for a reason. It probably was because I liked something in them. So I should knit something from them. So 6 items for the whole year.
And you're getting a good start on that because you're knitting something for
Jackie,
right? Knitting
so that'll be 1.
From hand painted yarn.
And then I want to knit with hand spun at least 4 times, which I think is a very low ball kind of goal, because 4 times in a year is not that much. But most of my hand spun just tends to kind of sit and marinate, because I'm like, I want to save it for the perfect project, but I just need to knit with it more. So those are really my only 3 goals for the year. I didn't want to set myself up too much and then not be able to accomplish those things. So
yeah, awesome.
Do you want to talk about our upcoming trip, or do we want to save that for next week?
Save.
Okay. So
I'm gonna worry that we're gonna run low on juice, and then the whole episode will go kaput.
So
They'll be whining and crying from this one, so.
bitch. So yeah, we'll talk about, we have an upcoming trip, we'll talk about that next week. And I think that's it. Let's see, we're at 45 minutes. That's not bad.
That's not bad.
I think we can do that.
Alright, if you want to find us off the camera, you can find us on Ravelry, Facebook, our website, which is www.TheKnitGirls with 3Ls.com, Plurk, Twitter.
And if you haven't already, please take the time to either leave a star rating or a written review or both on iTunes for us and all of your other favorite podcasters.
Oh, I met up with 3 viewers.
You did?
In 3 separate times.
That's awesome. Who were they?
Hold on. Legal Girl.
Yes, that's true.
Someone else from St. Louis. Hold on. What comes to me? And then Mama 4 from, like, Biloxi.
Oh, and we wanted to say hi to Kathy's sister.
Yes, we did!
Who lives in Florida, right?
Yes, Carolyn.
So,
That was on our list. We should check off the list just to make sure. We skipped it. Hey, Carolyn. We've heard so much about you from Kathy.
Kathy is our local yarn shop person, for those of you. She was on episode 20-something.
Sure.
I can't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But we wanted to say hi to you.
So, hello.
Hello. And happy knitting. And Kathy's actually going to go take a class, she thinks, down at Carolyn's local shop.
That's cool.
It's Maggie, who does the Maggie yarn. She's teaching a bunch of classes down there. But anyway. Hey, Carolyn.
Little detour.
Ah.
So I think that that's it. We wanted to say thank you to all of our viewers. We appreciate you very much. We still have a lot of fun with this. So we hope that the 2-week delay wasn't too much of a pain for you guys.
You blame it on me.
Yeah.
I was out of town.
Whatever. I enjoyed having a week off. So until next week, we will see you guys and have a good week.
Bye, y'all.